Well. What do we have here? Welcome back to another day and another stream, everybody. How are we all doing? Let me just change that. I haven't dragged that far enough over, have I? It seems to be hanging over a little bit there compared to save. That right? Yeah, right. There we go. Well, welcome back to the stream. Hello, mate. How are we doing?
All right. How's things? That was a bit close. I almost did it wrong then. And yeah. So for anyone wondering what I'm talking about, I kind of accidentally logged out of the StreamYard thing that we used to stream it with, and I couldn't get back in. And I was
you made a bit of a pig's ear of it, haven't you?
I was having a bit of a panic. I'll tell you what I did. I don't know if it's going to be a problem actually, but I did make my own StreamYard account, and I might have used the same email as what I used for this one. So we might have to check. We might have to sort that out later. But anyway, it's not a problem for the viewers.
No, it's not. It's all fine. But yeah, welcome back to the stream.
All right.
How are you?
I'm all right actually. Yeah, good actually. I'm trading Solana today. So
are you? Oh, that is having a good old pump, isn't it? As well.
Is, yeah.
Bobby, how we doing? You're saying evening. Where are you, Bobby? For it to be evening, you must be on the other side of the world. Firewatch and John, how we doing? Great to see you. Anyone else that's watching, do get your comments in, of course. Do drop your likes. Let's get your likes in, people. Let's get them going. As we obviously have another stream loaded up today. Now, I'm not going to lie, I've got a bit of a headache today.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got a slight bit. It's not anything that will affect the stream, but yeah, I've got a slight bit of a headache. I just can't seem to shift it. Drank loads of water, all sorts. Just can't seem to shift it, unfortunately. But yeah, the show goes on, doesn't it, mate? The show goes on.
Do you want me to go and get you a wet flannel or something?
Tell you what I could do with a nice head tickle. If I just lay down on your lap and you just like kind of tickle my face and then move on to my hair, that'd be perfect.
I quite like that myself, actually. But
no, you're not getting it. You're the one that'd be giving it to me.
My head's fine.
Yeah, well, you're still not getting it.
Oh, sorry to hear that. Anyway, yeah.
I would be the one that was receiving the head tickle.
Well, if I could reach your head, I'd do that.
I want to be careful saying that.
I know that'll get clipped and we'll be viral on TikTok.
Save with crypto. We're going to tickle Stonksy's head. But yeah, people, thank you very much for joining. Like I said, do get your likes in, get your comments in. Let me know who we've got watching. And yeah, we'll obviously kick it off with a nice little review of the market. But obviously, big thing today is Nvidia earnings coming after the market close. So we are safe for now. But yeah, after the market closes today, we will be having Nvidia earnings. The revenue estimate is 46.05 billion. So we'll see what comes of that. It is actually up a little bit pre-market, but of course, there could be some bit of nerves coming in towards the end. Obviously, Nvidia is a big majority, not majority, but a big stake of the S&P 500 now. I think someone said the other day, I think it's like 7 or 8% of the S&P itself now, because of obviously the size of it. So it's going to be a huge piece of data coming today. And obviously, depending on the route that the stock market takes afterwards, could likely affect crypto and Bitcoin. So we will see that. And yeah, we'll obviously await that. Now, for anyone obviously wondering what time it comes in, it is 9 o'clock. Yeah, 9 o'clock or just after. So that is obviously UK time. So yeah, do keep an eye out for that. Obviously, if you are in any trade, just bear that in mind for later on. We could get some big spike in volatility. And obviously, yeah, whether that means we take one direction or another, could maybe send the market in a specific way for overnight into tomorrow, whatever it may be. So yeah, something definitely to bear in mind regardless. But yeah, you said you're long on Solana, are you, mate? Yeah.
I am indeed, yeah. I mean, it's not a amazing entry. It's like it's on a different computer now. So I had it all ready to show you, and then because of that slight F up, it's on the computer. But I'll tell you what my entry was. I just saw that little dip this morning, and I thought, okay,
yeah, very nice.
Doing it on BLOFIN. Well, it closed one because I had one that had been underwater for a while, and I'd set the take profit just like a few percent in profit. So I kind of woke up this morning with like a 2 Solana profit. So I thought that's cool, and then it pulled back a little bit. So I thought I'll go in again, So that's good. Hang on. So sorry, you obviously can't see this because this is on the wrong computer, but I will let you know what it is. It is. Entry was 201.47, so not amazing, but yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, we do have Scotty in the chat, who has said he's also long on Solana and he's keeping an eye on ARB.
Okay.
Which is good. Yeah, but I mean Solana, we'll look at Solana now. 204, yeah, just shy to. Obviously, did tag 205 actually about 10 minutes ago. But yeah, I mean that has been on a great move. Obviously, Stonksy catching that after catching the downtrend. we look at the daily, we are back yet again in this daily pocket. So this is now the 4th time of Solana entering this daily pocket, where we obviously do have daily supply coming in. So as you can see, daily candles have closed in here and then obviously rejected from here. We have had wicks above a couple of times, but yeah, no success in closing over. So we do kind of really need to close over, it seems, like the 207, 208 kind of barrier to maybe open the door to 220, 230. But yeah, this is the 4th time of testing it now. So are we going to get a push through? What do you think, mate? What are you kind of targeting, or are you just kind of just going with the flow?
I just drew out some weekly levels, and the next one I've got above is 213, 213.19. So yeah, I want it to get above 213 really.
Yeah. What did you say your entry was again?
It was 201.47.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So
I think I might move myself just back down to the bottom right, so I'm not covering too much of the chart. I don't know whether that's... Let me know in the chat, and let us know in the chat. Do you prefer it when we're on with save? Do you prefer me being on the opposite side of the screen at the bottom, or do you prefer me being on top?
I think that's better, isn't it?
Hey, look, it seems so, yeah. Discipline, how we doing, mate? Great to see you. Good afternoon. Scotty says he got in at 190. Good entry.
Oh, nice
bit of room, yeah. You got a nice bit of room there. $15 room, which is good. Firewatch says opposite. Yeah, so we'll keep it on the opposite then. Keep it on the opposite. I suppose it takes up less of the chart, doesn't it? But yeah, I mean, yes, Solana is looking quite feisty. I think it seems, obviously, each time it's rejected from here, it's come back up, hasn't it? And it's come back up quicker. Obviously, we had the first push in here, and then we got a big sell-off down to 157, 158. Then we pushed up again, and then sold off, but we didn't go as far. Then we pushed up again, and then we sold off, and again, didn't go as far. So now we're pushing again. So it does seem like it does want to try and break through this barrier. So yeah, I am quite optimistic, obviously, looking at that, provided that the market holds up. You know, if Bitcoin goes and takes a massive shit, then obviously the momentum could be kind of ruined. But, you know, as long as Bitcoin kind of holds, or, you know, if it starts to push up, even better, it'll give it a helping hand. We could see Solana start tagging its highest level since early February/January time, which will be good, and obviously good for your longs, mate. Yeah, you'd be rubbing your hands together, ready for the weekend. Then, wouldn't you? Be like, oh, how many pints can I buy with this in the pub after being out on the bike?
Do you know how many drinking days I've had in the last 11 months?
No, go on.
9.
To be fair, that's like nearly once a month.
Yeah,
I mean, kind of want to be honest. I am actually taking on a personal challenge of going teetotal now for a while.
I did it for 320 days.
Well, I'm nearly a month in.
Oh, well done.
Nearly a month, yeah. So I'm gonna try and do it for a good long while. A mixture of reasons, really. But I just think, like, it just kind of ruins your weekend. Not if you go for a few. If you go for a few and then go home, you know, it's not so bad. But I just think, like, because when I go out obviously with the idea of having more than a few. It just kind of ruins the whole weekend, because you wake up the next day, you feel awful. Then that day's a write-off. I'm sick of it. So, bearing in mind, I don't actually drink that often anyway. I'm kind of on the same par as you, of kind of once a month-ish. It's not like, you know, I'm out every weekend and stuff like that. Yeah, it's kind of once a month, but then I'm still like, you know, that's 1 month out of every month, 1 week, out of every month, where the weekend is just completely ruined. So I'm just like, you know what? Let's see it. And yeah, I've holed up pretty well. I went to the pub, not the weekend, just gone the weekend before, and I had a few 0% alcohol beers. Same taste for me, anyway. Same taste, obviously.
Which one were you drinking?
So at first, I had a pint of Heineken Zero, which I thought was all right, to be fair. And then I had a couple of bottles of Peroni Zero.
Okay.
I do want to try Guinness Zero. I've not tried that yet.
I must admit, if you like Guinness, the Guinness Zero is just identical. It's like,
yeah. Well, I think a lot of them are. It's just obviously it doesn't have the alcohol in, but I mean, really, I like the taste of beer. Like I do genuinely like the taste of beer, and I think just having a beer is nice. So, I mean, for me, yeah, just having a zero is perfectly fine. And obviously, you know, if you like, I went to the pub for a few, and then I went home, got an Indian on the way home. Went home. I was only there for a couple of hours, but then obviously, you know, I'm not feeling all tipsy and stuff like that. Wake up the next day perfectly refreshed. I'll bear in mind though, I think there was a slight placebo effect in my mind. I wasn't feeling it, but obviously if you're used to it, you're probably fine. But if you're not used to obviously drinking zero, I think there is quite a little bit of a placebo effect, because obviously your body is naturally used to feeling that after having the taste of it. Where I guess over time, if you stick to it, you don't really get that. But definitely, I kind of felt that placebo effect a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know actually, you know, because what I kind of realised, because you know, to be honest, I mean, I'm about 6 times the age of you, aren't I? But like,
I don't know about that, man. I think you'd be dead if that was the case.
But you know,
you're under 3 times.
But okay. But yeah, I mean, all them years I lived in France and stuff. I mean, you know, it was a really boozy lifestyle. Because
I can imagine.
Because I was like doing gigs with the band every night, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, you get.
You in Delta.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you know, you get like beer for free. You know, and you know, you just drink it like it's bloody water. You know.
Yeah.
But what I found since I stopped drinking, well, a couple of things really. But when I moved back to the UK, I don't know, things had changed really. It wasn't like it used to. It wasn't like I remembered it. You know, I think COVID sort of did a lot to that, didn't it? Sort of destroyed a bit of the pub culture sort of thing. You know, so it wasn't like every Friday night you go down the pub and all your mates would be there. You'd have to sort of like arrange to meet your mates, you know, because they might not be there. You know.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different anyway. So I kind of stopped going to the pub really when I moved back to the UK, and I just saved it for like, you know, when I'm having a day out, or like, you know, I'm out on my bike or something, you know. So there's that. But the other thing is, you know, like when I've been to like events and stuff, like I've been to you know, like gigs and stuff like that. What I realised is like when you go to the pub, like the best bit is normally like the first hour or the first 2 hours or something like that. And that's when you're like, you know, everyone's quite happy to see each other, you're having a good chat and all that sort of thing. And after that, when everyone starts getting a bit pissed, everything, you know, like the drunker people start repeating themselves, and it all gets a bit boring actually, you know, and then it ends up messy, doesn't it? You know, so I kind of think, well, you know, if that first hour or two is the best bit, you don't need to be like super drunk, do you? You know,
yeah, exactly.
So I think that kind of placebo thing does kind of work. I mean, it seems to with me, you know, if I'm with a bunch of people who are drinking, it's really good fun until they start repeating themselves and just get boring, and then I go home. But you know, I go home, I wake up in the morning, I feel fine. So that's cool. No, there's multiple reasons I did it myself actually, but you know, sort of health, I suppose, and money. You know, you spend a lot of money drinking, don't you, these days?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think a bottle of 0% Peroni was like £2.50, which is obviously like probably just under, you know, half the price. A bottle of Peroni is about £4 now in the pub, innit? So it is, yeah, just under, like, well, sorry, just over half the price. So yeah, it is obviously a cheaper time too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always the case, but the thing is, I mean, you don't go out and have like 7 pints of zero beer, do you? You know?
No.
Whereas like normal beer, you do, don't you? Well, I do.
No, yeah, you can have a couple of soft drinks and stuff, can't you, as well? Which is obviously, yeah, naturally cheaper than beer. So yeah, I tell you what, can't complain at the moment. Kind of liking it, and yeah, I think it may be a pretty long term thing. We'll see. Discipline says, want to enter a long but waiting if there will be a rejection. What are you looking at first, Discipline? Enter along on what, and what are you looking for a rejection on? Let us know. Do you guys drink to get drunk, or just drink because you like a pint? I'm a 2 to 3 pints and done. I'm mostly the second one. Yeah, pretty much. It was kind of like I never saw the point in just going to have like one or two. It was either like all or nothing. Where obviously now, I'm trying to adopt the thing of, just having a drink for the taste of it instead of obviously the alcohol with switching over to zero. So, I suppose it depends how much self-control you have. Thatcher's Zero ain't bad. Yeah, I've never really been much of a cider drinker, but I think I would try some 0% cider as well. Steve-O, howdy, we doing? I tell you what, Steve-O will be cursing us, Save. Steve-O will be cursing us with us saying about 0% alcohol. Steve-O loves a good bottle of tequila. So yeah, I'm sure Steve-O will be sat there shaking his head at us discussing 0% alcohol. Let us know in the chat, Steve-O. But yeah, will.
I think the thing with me was like I've had a couple of mates who, they've got it, so it's a bit of a problem, and like with both of these people, like they've been told if you have another drink, you're gonna die. So I thought I don't want to get to that stage. I want to have the choice of like if I want to drink or not. Not be told I can never have a drink ever again. So does that really? And I have done. I've been out for a few bike rides with this girl, and she quite likes to go in the pub. So I've had a few pints with her. So that's all right. I don't mind doing that, and it wasn't like I got completely blasted and whatever, but it's good to have the choice, and then, but
absolutely
at the same time, just think, I'm not drinking today. And also, if you're not drinking, you can drive to the pub and drive home, and that's
it. That's another bonus. Yeah, that is
a bit of a novelty, isn't it?
Yeah, that certainly is another bonus. And what you can also do is opt to spend your money on a very nice takeaway or something on the way home as well. Like a few weeks ago, I got full Indian takeaway, which was, I love Indian food. By far my favorite. Yeah, by far, that would be my death row meal. My death row meal would be Indian for sure. What would yours be?
Yeah, quite possibly actually. I do like a chicken dan sak, sag paneer, pilaf rice, and a couple of onion bhajis, please.
Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. But yes, talking Bitcoin, we did reject from the 112k area yesterday after we had a nice pushback up from the depths of just below 109k. So we pushed back up, rejected, and we are hanging around here now. Of course, like we discussed yesterday, a reclaim of 112, obviously where we had previous daily support, would be quite good and could see us push back up towards, there is an open CME gap up towards 117. But currently, we defended this area quite well, which we looked at as quite key and important, this 108 to 109k region. So we defended that well yesterday, obviously got a nice daily close, aside from rejecting 112, but in terms of, from being down here earlier in the day, we pushed up nice. So, maybe we hang around here for a couple of days. Maybe we get a squeeze up. Maybe we come and retest the lows again. Nvidia earnings today could be a catalyst for quite a fast dump and pump in either direction. So we will definitely look out for that tonight. 9 o'clock UK time, or obviously wherever you are. After market close is when Nvidia earnings are. But from here, like I said, it's pretty much the exact same as we looked at yesterday, but we will go over it. Reclaim 112. And we do obviously have a CME gap open here, which we could then move to close. Down here, we obviously want to hold these. If we test demand again, we want to hold. If we drop below, then I'd probably be looking at, to be honest, if we drop below, I kind of favor lower, but 105k does look like a good liquidity area. But if we drop below, I'd probably maybe be looking at that kind of 101, maybe 100k area before anything else. So, do I think we go that low? Personally, I don't know. I kind of favor that we maybe chop around here if we're not going to reclaim 112. But this is a key area, so I mean, it would take again a lot of selling momentum to cut us through this area. I imagine that this will be looked to be defended quite well by bulls. So that's where we're at with that. And Scotty wants us to look at ARB, so we'll look at ARB next. I normally trade supply and demand, so I placed a limit order on Sol at 184.87. Yeah, very nice. That's obviously quite a bit lower, isn't it? I was a good boy on Friday. Only had half a bottle of rosé. Was only 70 cl. So he had hardly anything then. He had like 35 milliliters. Oh, you missed the end, right? Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Tell you what. This girl I went out with on my bike. I realised she was drinking like large wines, you know, and that's like 250 milliliters, and she had at least 4 of them. So that's like a litre of wine.
Oh yeah, you get some people that like some women that'll go out and they'll drink like 2-3 bottles of wine, won't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
And she still rode a bike home.
Did she? Yeah. What a soldier. Sean says no great night started with 0% beer. Now I've had enough great nights to the point where I can move on to the 0% now. Cyprian Bro gave a special mention to you, mate. He says hello. At Save, did you have the call regarding SP owners and ZPay?
Yeah, I did. I've put a little bit, well, a brief summary of it in the ZoidPay Telegram group. I can't say much more about it, but generally it's kind of good news. It's kind of good news. They're still waiting to get the app out, and you know, it's been waiting like years for that. So I don't know. It's a matter of if they can not go bankrupt before Apple approve the iOS app, then it'll be fine. But if they go bankrupt meanwhile, that might be a problem. So
okay. Oh, so what did you do? You jumped on a call. What's SP owners? What's that?
Oh, that's it's basically the SP stands for shopping pool. It's a kind of like a node, it's like a liquidity node, which, you know, that there are, I think there's about 75 of us who are like kind of node operators, if you like. Which is and so you know, we're the upper hierarchy of the ZoidPay people, really. But I don't know. It's a funny old thing. I mean, if they get it right, it'll be good. But like, I don't know. It's like, you know, that they've been plagued by massive delays and just, you know, not getting the legislation for stuff. And at the moment, the ZoidPay token is getting, well, it's on the verge of getting delisted from KuCoin. It's got like it's got a ST tag, which is like special treatment, which means it's got separate. It's like, you know, it's a bit special. But it's you know, normally like the token gets an ST tag before it gets delisted. So yeah, it's in a bit of a mess, to be honest. I mean, it's one of them things where like it could be worth a punt on it, because like, you know, I was buying it at 13 cents thinking like, oh, that's a bargain, and now it's less than 0.1%, you know. It's, you know, it could easily do a 10x from here. It could easily do 100x. It could do 1000x, but it could also die, you know, if they go bankrupt before Apple approve the app. Anyway.
Right. Have they said how much runway they've got left, or have they not disclosed?
No. They deliberately decided to not talk about timelines. So because they're, well, basically I had a call on my channel with Edward, the boss, in January 2023, and we were talking about the app coming out, and I was like, oh, this sounds great, you know, when do you reckon it'll be out? And he said, I think it'll be out by May. It's probably safe to say like May. That was May 2023. Over
2 years ago.
Well, 23, well over 2 years ago. So it's, I don't know, but you know, they were saying that at the moment they're having to pay like the card providers and the KYC people, all them people, they're having to pay a fee out to those, which is 30 grand a month, and they're not making a single penny at the moment. So I'm just wondering how the bloody hell they can, you know, I mean, presumably they're paying themselves as well. I mean, the team's small. I think
Yeah.
the team's like 4 or 5 people, but presumably they're paying themselves wages, and then paying 30 grand a month on top of that. And they're not making a penny. It's a bit worrying, to be honest. But,
Yeah.
It's one of them things where I went in pretty balls deep back in 2023 when I didn't really know what I was doing. Obviously it's something I regret, but it might come good. I don't know. I'd say it's about 50-50 at the moment whether it will survive or not. But if it does, it should be good. But it could easily die as well. Or I could be saying this now in 3 years' time and it'd be in exactly the same situation. I can't imagine they'd last that long though with no money.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
But it was weird. In the call, they were comparing it with like Cast and Red Dot Pay. Do you know those ones?
No, I don't think
they're
so.
both like payment card solutions,
Yeah.
And I was thinking, well, they were saying how it's better than Cast, and I was like, I didn't say anything, but I was kind of like thinking, well, how can you compare it with something when you haven't got a product on the market and they have?
Yeah.
It's like, it's no good saying that our product's better if people can't use it. I mean, it's not in the App Store, so and it's not even the Android one isn't in the Android one's in the Android store, but it doesn't work, because the KYC on it is buggered. So
yeah.
It's a bit of a disaster really, but I mean, I hope it will come good. And the call yesterday was kind of positive, and there will be a public one tomorrow at 6 p.m. I think it'll be on X actually. I think it'll be an X space. I think, or if not, it'll be a Telegram one.
Yeah, smashing.
Anyway, so that's the answer to that.
Scotty said double bottom retest of neckline of ARB. Yeah, I mean ARB is pushing out quite well. I mean, it's kind of similar to what we went over yesterday. We looked at a ton of vaults that look very similar to ARB that haven't broken out yet. Obviously, ARB has been in this accumulation zone and then broken out of it. Now, it is obviously, as you can see, we did look at this a while ago and obviously plan for a breakout towards 70 cents. So, I still think that remains valid. Seems to have lost steam in and around this little interruption here in price. But this is kind of the main sell-off zone here. We are retesting, obviously, SR. We had resistance all across here, as you can see. Came in here multiple times. Then we retested it again in May. Then again in July. And then we kind of chopped in and around it. Retesting close to that point now. But it is grinding up quite nicely. Now, we did put in a nice double bottom in terms of a high time frame on the daily here. There you go, 1, 2. And then pushed up pretty good. Let me just get rid of these old markings on it. If we zoom now into the lower time frames. So as you can see, we are trying to hold in and around this point here, which looks good to me. Again, one of the ones, Ethereum beta, pretty much copy and paste of, like your OP, your LDO, your RV, basically taking advantage of the Ethereum strength and running up. But I mean, for me, still looks good. Ethereum currently, had a great day yesterday, didn't it? Pushed all the way back above 4,600. As long as Ethereum remains good, and obviously Bitcoin kind of holds in and around, these levels that we've looked at down towards 108. Then it gives Ethereum room to carry on running, and then ETH betas obviously the chance to carry on running as well. I think, obviously worst case scenario from here would be, potentially coming in for a retest of this support level down here at 47, which could bring another 10% drawdown. But again, either holding here to then move back up, or maybe potentially retesting here, and then obviously you would want it to hold from there. But ultimately, I think this zone will be quite key for it, the 70 to 74 cent zone. If we go back to the daily, as you can see, that's kind of where the aggressive sell-off came from. And then above there, obviously, we've got 80. And then we've got a couple of others. I think kind of just basic. Sorry, I keep hiccuping. Basic level-to-level play. on ARB. Let me just make this a bit darker. Yeah, so you got this area, potentially up to, maybe a bit of trouble at 81. Then we've got up towards 92. Up towards, oh, hang on. Let me remove that. Let me zoom back out. Up towards there. To be honest, I would actually remove that, I think. I would actually remove that. I'm going to probably put a nice box in there instead. Yeah, that looks good. So up towards $1, actually, probably from 81.50 will be my next target. And then, of course, you've got the December high. But, we know ARB has been selling off for a good long while. So it's got plenty of other levels that we can look at. So, you've got your December high to come in after that. It's really just level to level. As you can see, just retesting all these lower highs we put in after December. And then as soon as you get past the 120 level, you're kind of up towards 175, then kind of just fill in all this void in price that we had here on this sell-off. So they're kind of the levels I've been looking at. Obviously, starting off low time frame, holding the current level or the one below. But then, just level to level, up to here, up to here, up to here, up to here, and then potentially all the way up to there, which would mark, obviously, a huge rally considering it bottomed out at 25 cents. So, yeah, I think it looks good. And obviously, definitely one of the stronger ETH betas. So, something to keep an eye on. Pellin says, lower highs, lower lows is still what I'm seeing. Lower highs, lower lows.
On what?
I'm guessing on Bitcoin.
Okay.
They're looking at Bitcoin.
It depends what time frame you're looking at.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, you can still kind of see it, because even though we had this pump up, we still kind of protected this lower high, didn't we? Yeah, I think really, what will come is obviously, while we've still got that, you need a shift in market structure, don't you? So we've potentially come a point where we've, maybe got a low. Say, let's just live in the world where we've got a low here. Then what we'll see is obviously just a gradual. Now, it will take a bit of a while, because you got to remember we've been selling off for basically 2 weeks. So it may take a while, but what we'll potentially get is obviously, maybe grind here for a while, and then we'll come up and then look to put in a high. And then, it'll take, like I said, it could take a week, it could take 2 weeks, it might take longer, depending on how long we consolidate at each point. But once we've kind of got that point in where you can go, right, that actually looks like a low now, then we can look for that shift in market structure, and obviously starting with low time frame as we are, and then move on from there. But the thing is, each bounce has been sold off, so it is kind of difficult to try and identify it, because each bounce has obviously been met by aggressive selling. But I do think this is a key zone. So, as long as this is protected, we could obviously be looking for, a reversion play back to the upside, in my opinion anyway. Is SWC still using his tap card? Yeah,
actually, I took it with me to Spain, and I used it for everything there. I used it to hire a car, I used it to pay for the petrol, food, everything really. Because what I did was, when XTP went up a bit in value early this year, I went for the prestige tier. I think it is. It's the penultimate tier. So in theory, I actually get back, I think it's 6% in XTP tokens, but the way you get them is it's locked for a year. So I don't get them until this time next year. But I used it quite a lot really. So I used it in Spain, because at the moment you can only load the card in various currencies, but it always ends up as euros, because they haven't got like GBP accounts at the moment. So I'm just using it as my holiday card, or for anything I need to pay for in euros. And to be honest, I do go to Europe quite a lot, so I'm quite happy to do that. But yeah, so I do actually use it. I don't know what's happening to the token price. It's just going downhill all the time. But yeah, I don't know. What they need, they need to get the GBP accounts, because I think because it was shielded quite heavily by TMG. I think what's happened is the majority of the XTP holders are in the UK, and at the moment to actually use it in the UK makes no sense at all, because the only way of using it with like pounds or whatever is to get your English bank account, pay in pounds, and then when you load the card it ends up as euros, and then you go to the shop and you pay, you get on Tesco and you're paying in euros. It's like doesn't make any sense because you're converting it twice. But yeah, when they get the GBP thing sorted, it'll be all right. But what I've kind of learned, because I'm quite into these like payment solution things, but what I've learned over the years is that they're all completely at the mercy of regulations, to do with like what you can and can't do in various countries. And if you're trying to do something that's like in even like Europe, UK isn't part of Europe anymore, so different laws apply, and it's a real pain in the arse, to do that. That was the other thing with the Zoid Pay thing, is they've sorted out the KYC provider, which means they can, well, effectively they can at least get the Android app out, but the KYC is only for Europe. It's not for the UK, so I kind of like lost interest at that point, because I know I won't be able to use that card in the UK, so I'll just use my tap one instead, and that's the way it goes, really. So yeah, I do use my tap card, but not very often.
Yeah, I never used it, I'll be honest. I think I did get it through the post, but I just never ended up using it. Okay. And this was obviously a good long while ago.
So have you actually got any XTP or not?
No.
Okay.
No. I think I ended up selling it off because I bought mine on the actual tap app.
Right.
And then I sold it a good long while ago.
Did you make a profit on it?
I think I did. It wasn't anything substantial, like. It wasn't anything substantial, but I think I did. Yeah.
If I'd have not been stupid, like I was in 2023, it's quite weird, isn't it, with crypto and stuff? You sort of, like, I don't know, when we always talk about people who are like new to the space and stuff, just getting used to things and getting a feel of things. But like, 2023, I was still quite naive. I was only like two years into it, like dealing with crypto.
Yeah.
And and it was a bit when TMG was talking about it quite a lot, and I thought, okay, I'll buy a load of XTP, and if I'd have sold it when it was worth loads of money, my initial, I think I spent about 20 grand, I think, on XTP, and at one point it was worth 170 grand, and I didn't sell it.
Yeah.
and like, but why the hell didn't I sell it? And I didn't sell it because I thought it was going to go up even more, So I kind of learnt my lesson a bit. And I'll tell you what, yesterday, with the CRO went up.
Oh, what a pump that was.
Yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it? Now, with CRO, I've got 100,000 staked, 100,000 CRO, that is. I've got 100,000 CRO staked to get the card, which I don't want to unstake because I really like the card. I really like the benefits and all that.
Yeah.
So that's going to stay like that. But I have got, as well as that, I had about another like 3 grand's worth of CRO that it is actually what I've earned from like cashback and stuff over the years. And when it pumped, I did actually sell it. That I just sold it into Bitcoin.
Right. Yeah.
And looking back over the past 12 hours, that was a mistake, or was it? Because I've done this so many times where I've watched something go up and then watched it come down again, and so I thought I'm just going to lock it in at that point. It's not all my CRO. I mean, the rest of it, the stuff I've got staked to go, for the card, that went up 7 grand yesterday, so I'm happy about that. But meanwhile, I swapped my liquid CRO, if you like. I swapped it into Bitcoin. But if the price,
how much was that again? Dollar or pound wise? Did you say?
Which one?
The liquid one that you sold yesterday.
About $3,000.
Yeah. But the thing is, you can kind of get caught up, can't you, in like them pumps? But most of the time, what we see is news pumps get retraced. It might take a while, but look at Bitcoin from on Friday. We had a great big pump on Bitcoin and ETH due to the Powell news, but gradually they get retraced. Now I haven't looked at Crow since yesterday.
Well, do you want to bring it up? And
yeah, we got it here. Yeah, we've got it here.
So
it's up. It is up more than obviously the initial pump yesterday. Not by much, by about another 10, maybe 15% or so.
Yeah. Actually, do you want to look at the CRO BTC chart? I think there's a Binance chart that shows you that.
We'll just use this one, this KuCoin one.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty similar, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
let's zoom out. So obviously, we're approaching, the kind of the November, December highs on that. We have actually blasted through. Now, what's obviously key to look at here is we've actually taken out the 2 wicks. So we had this big wick come in mid-November up to 23.5 cents. And then we had another one in December, which came in just below. So naturally, there will be liquidity above both of them because the December one never swept the one before. Now, we have swept these two. So when you look at that, depending on obviously how this weekly close, that could close as just like a liquidity sweep, swing failure pattern, potentially. I mean, when you look at it, there isn't much going on. So depending on obviously how the follow-through momentum is, you could look at it. And I think you can't really see it much on the weekly chart, but I think I got this region from the daily chart here. But obviously there's not really much until about 40 cents to the left. If we go to the daily. There's literally nothing much because the sell-off was so fast and aggressive. We've got, something in around 30, but really, a breakout of obviously this high time frame resistance, you would think would bring us right in towards where supply came in, which was around 40 cents. So it's probably, it could be one of the two. We could, maybe the pump carries on, or maybe, this is like just a high time frame liquidity sweep.
Yeah.
But typically, we are accustomed to news pumps retracing, or at least retracing a lot of the gains. It might not do it fully, because obviously, I think the news was pretty significant yesterday, wasn't it? There seems to be a really good relationship with Trump and obviously his World Liberty Finance and Crypto.com. And it's interesting that they've gone that route instead of going with like Coinbase or Kraken. So yeah, I do find it quite interesting.
Yeah, it did actually surprise me a little bit because it's not an American company. I think they're based in Singapore.
They are. It's definitely Asia.
Yeah, so that kind of surprised me, really. But anyway, that's the way it is. My thinking about that is I'm just trying to see your level on what's the actual number there.
Which one? On this red line?
Well, no, the actual price it's at now in Bitcoin.
In Bitcoin, sorry.
I can't.
02071.
Yeah, you see, I sold at 0 whatever. It was like 189 something,
Yeah.
So my thinking there is okay. If it crashes down, I'll just buy the CRO back at a lower price and I'll get more CRO. If it goes higher, if it actually goes to 40 cents, then with the CRO that I've got staked, I can then upgrade my card and I'll be able to go up from like 3% cash back to 5% cash back, which I'll probably do, to be honest. My only worry about that is I know there's a lot of people on like Twitter and YouTube and stuff, people who are like, got channels and stuff dedicated to CRO almost. And, people are talking about $1 and $3 CRO, which I don't know, that is quite a big market cap if it gets up there. I mean, I think it's in like the top 5 cryptos anyway, but that would actually be getting rather large if it went there. And
the
other
you always
day,
have these people that pull out mad numbers though, don't you? Like,
Yeah,
people saying like XRP to $30, not realizing that it would give it a market cap of about 4 trillion or something. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's nevertheless, you know, what you can say about Crow is it is one of the few coins, and like in the very few, that has actually now reached its December high. You know, if we go through a lot of these, you know, a lot of coins, obviously we know ETH has created an all-time high, but if we go to the weekly chart now, and we look at obviously the December highs, you know, Solana obviously had its big pump, you know, had its follow-on pump in January after Trump released his coin, but you know, in November, Solana put in a high 265. You know, it's still 30% away from there. Obviously, BNB's new highs. Doge massively away from its December highs. You know, a good over 2x. ADA not too far off, to be fair, compared to some. But then, you know, you start to go down through Link again. Litecoin isn't that far away. Link's not that far away. AVAX is an absolute mission away, you know, over 2x. Sui is still probably around, probably a good 30 to 40% away. XLM's not far. Ton is a million miles away. You know, that's a good 2x. DOT, again, a million miles away. OM, dead. Uniswap, again, a good 2x away. So, you know, a lot of these coins, obviously Arve's up there. But, you know, a lot of these coins, you know, Tau, again, around about 2x away. A lot of these bigger coins in and around, obviously, you know, the top 50, top 100, you know, you look at Jupiter there, again, that is just under 3x away. You know, a lot of them are still need a very solid pump and a solid rally to get even close to the December highs. Never mind, obviously, some of these that have been around since last cycle to get to historical highs. Where Crow, you know, is there now. So it's definitely one of the best performing coins overall. And it is probably, maybe alongside, obviously, MNT has done, Mantle has done a lot, hasn't it, recently? The Buy Bitcoin. But probably the best exchange, maybe the best exchange performing token out of them all as well. When you consider exchange tokens, it might be the best performing one, particularly over the past couple of months. So yeah, what do you think it would take price wise for you to, or do you think you wouldn't do it? But what would you think it would take for you to get rid of the Crow you're holding, obviously, to have your card, or do you think you'll just keep that in there just so you're able to have the card? Because obviously, if you take it out, you have to then put back in a higher amount if you want that, don't you, to get to the same tiers? Or do you think, is there a kind of a level where you would look to maybe be like, right, you know, regardless of the cash back you get, I'm going to take this money off the table?
Yeah, I think if it gets near $1, before October, I think I will probably sell it all, because then I'll have, like, you know, over 100 grand's worth. So yeah, that's like a useful sum of money, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, you gotta think about it realistically, haven't you? Like, you know, how much cash back are you actually going to get, you know, over maybe even the next 5 years, compared to just taking 100 grand and just taking it off the table into stables, and just being happy with that.
Yeah, well, there is that as well. Now,
you've kind of just disclosed your amount, so we can roughly figure out that you've got currently around 25k, 23k-ish in Crow at the moment.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Which is a lot. It's, you know, it's a lot to have tied up in it, because, you know, it's obviously tied into the it's not really staking, is it? Because you do get rewards, but it's obviously for spending on your card. It's kind of just in a lockup, isn't it?
Well, it is. You actually do get rewards for actually staking on the card. Yeah, but they're actually locked to stop people selling it off. You know, obviously, if you unstake it, then you get the rewards then. So you know, you get that on top. I mean, I mean, the thing is, I mean, once again, this is one of the things where I remember looking at it in 2021, and my balance there was like, it was getting up towards 100k, you know, and like in dollars, and I was thinking that's a lot of money, but you know, I didn't do anything about it really, and I kind of wish I had done, because then I could have just, you know, if I'd have wanted, I could have bought it all back, couldn't I? When it went down to like 9 cents or whatever. So I could have done
Hindsight's
that.
amazing, though, isn't it? You know, hindsight is a wonderful thing, because
Totally,
if we could all go back, I'm sure all of us would end up with tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions now. If you could go back to even, you know, the start of 2023, never mind, like obviously the bear market before that,
Well,
and just know obviously exactly what was going to happen at each time.
I'll tell you what, if I'd have just kept the Bitcoin that I bought in 2020 and done nothing with it, put it on a ledger and just done nothing with it, I'd have a lot more money than I've got now. But you know, I decided to play around with altcoins, that sort of thing. And
Yeah,
I decided to learn how to trade, and I kind of like, you know, did it all wrong really. So, but I kind of I enjoy it. I enjoy the whole crypto thing. I enjoy the trading and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, just the crypto.com thing before I finish up with that. So somebody asked Block Pro on Monday on his AMA about CRO, and they said, you know, can you have a look at CRO? Do you think it will go to $1 or 1 cent? You know, and he did some analysis, and he had levels going up to like, you know, 50, 60 cents, which was quite exciting. But he said like $1, no way, Jose. You know, so that was before we had that announcement yesterday about the Trump, whatever it's called, you know. And obviously that for me, I was thinking, well, you know, would he still be thinking that now? So I actually asked him this morning in the Discord in Crypto Saving Expert. And I actually said, like, you know, I know you said $1 isn't possible, but after this news, do you think it is possible? You know, and I was expecting him to come back and say, oh, well, yes, it's just a chart, so of course not, you know. But he actually replied. I actually pasted his reply in the chat, actually. There you go. So, so yeah, I just put it in the chat. So, yeah, I could put it on the screen, can't I? So what he said was, he said, hoping for you it'll go there, mate. For me, it's fairly simple. I trade what I see on the charts, but who knows? It is the world of crypto. Maybe it goes there. That surprised me that he said that, because I didn't think he'd say that. I thought he'd just say, well, no, the chart says no, you know, and he didn't. So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, definitely, if it gets up towards $1, I think that's going to be a psychological barrier anyway. And I think
that would be all-time high. You know, the all-time high is 5.5. And again, you know, that in itself was a wick. And I'm guessing if we went and looked at the daily chart, I don't know if I'm right or not, but I'm guessing that was maybe a day, maybe 2 days. You don't really have long to try and catch these things. Let's see. So yeah, it was, oh no, to be fair, it was, yeah, around about 3 days before obviously it came back down. So it went up, hung around for a day, then started to descend, and then obviously by that 4th day it was all the way back down at 70.
That was 2021, wasn't it? That was October.
Yeah, late 2020. And remember how much marketing they was doing around that time as well, like insane marketing, wasn't they? They obviously was doing them kind of space adverts. They was buying up the rights to the
that stadium, wasn't it?
Is it the Staples Center or
yeah, in LA,
or the LA Lakers? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
something where it's now obviously the Crypto.com arena. I think that was around the time they're still partnered with the UFC, aren't they? You know, you still see it on the octagon and stuff. But I think that was around the time they started doing all that type of stuff as well.
I mean, to be fair,
and you know, kind of around 40 cents, and then 50, and then up towards 62, kind of look like the regions for me anyway, from what I'm looking at. But I mean, if it does get going, you can see on the weekly, there's nothing really there. Like it was just like straight down. So, you know, before you know it, it could be very fast. And this week, you know, this week's pump has shoved it up quite a lot, hasn't it? You know, it's shoved it up nearly 10 cents.
Yeah.
So
anyway, yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, to be honest, you know, out of all the crypto projects there are, that is the only thing that I've used on a daily basis since 2020. You know, I use the card every day. I mean, at one point I used to stake all my crypto in the app as well, and you know, I at one point I could actually live off the staking rewards. It was so good. It was amazing. Then they then it got worse, and then it got banned in the UK. So that was the end of that. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's like it's a good project, because I believe in it, and also I kind of know what CRO does, whereas something like AVAX or something might be brilliant, but I don't know what it does, and I don't use it, So there's that as well.
Yeah. What have we got? We've got Scotty saying, we've got Delta actually. Delta's come in, and Nick, I've not said hello to you. Good afternoon to you, mate, and of course the Delta fella. Scotty says,
it was his birthday the other day. We didn't sing to him, did we?
He didn't deserve it. No, didn't deserve it.
I was going to post him a cake.
Happy birthday, Delta. Hope you had a good one. Scotty says, what's retirement money for you two? How much? Well, to be honest, I live quite a simple life. I don't really need anything extravagant, and I would perfectly be happy living a simple life for the rest of my life. So I think, given that I would always do something regardless, it's difficult to say, innit? Because I suppose it depends on if your class as retirement is literally just doing nothing and maybe just obviously doing a bit of crypto and trading and stuff along the side. Personally, if I was to just get a massive lump sum, say, for instance, you said, right, Dave, I've just won the Euro Millions. There's £1 million. Go and retire or do what you want with it. I probably wouldn't retire. I'd probably go and start something or do something. But again, I like to live a simple life, so it's not like I would go and buy a Urus or a bloody a different Lambo or a Ferrari or anything. I wouldn't do that. I like to live a simple life. I'd go and buy a nice car, but obviously nothing, for something a fraction of the price of them. And yeah, simple life. I would just have no mortgage. I would, obviously make sure could live comfortably for the rest of your life. Family would never have any money troubles, all that jazz. It's tough to put a figure on it. Honestly, figure-wise, I don't know. Because I suppose it depends if you mean like you literally just do nothing and, you don't try. Obviously, you could trade, couldn't you? You can do that from the comfort of your own home. And then that's it. Is there some kind of rules behind this or what? Like, could you go and start something? Obviously, maybe just have it as a bit of like a hobby. Maybe you start something with your mates, a business or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't. The thing is, as well, it's like, I think it's kind of hard to judge about like how much money it would take to kind of live the rest of your life as well, wouldn't it? Like, easily.
It depends how old you are. I mean, I've obviously got a lot less years left than you have.
Don't be like that, mate.
But no, I mean, to me, at the moment, I haven't got a house. If
you don't know, Save with Crypto is currently streaming in Mackey's.
I live under a bridge.
Yeah, he's a true degen in degen fashion. Yeah. He's just knocking about.
Homeless crypto.
Drop a wallet address for people to donate to you. Put him up in a hotel for the night.
But no, it's true. I haven't got a house. I haven't got a house because
just to be clear, you do live in a house. Like, you do live in a house. He's not homeless.
Yeah. But when I left France, my house was only worth €250,000. So that isn't a lot when you put it into pounds in the UK. So I can't really afford the house I want, really. So what I want to do, so retirement for me is probably a nice house paid for, and then the same amount of money again. I think that would probably do. That would be nice. And it depends how long I've got left to live. I don't know, 20, 30 years. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if say for instance, if you just give me a big lump sum.
You keep saying this.
If you just you just have to prepare, don't you? You don't know who's going to win the lottery or get into some money. Do you know what I mean? Imagine if Zoe Pay went to $1 tomorrow. I'm sure you'd have a big, massive wedge. Just preparing for potential future. No, but yeah, I mean, I think I could pretty pretty easily. Just kind of keep that obviously like as secure, you know, obviously retirement / just comfy living money. And whatever I spend, I reckon I could just make that in the market because there'd be no pressure. You know, it's not like you're trading to like obviously try and pay your bills and stuff. Like if you have no pressure, you could literally just take 1 trade a month, 2 trades a month, maybe 5 trades a month, but there'd literally be no pressure. So it's not like you feel you have to FOMO and stuff. If the market's not looking good, you just be like, all right, do you know what I mean? I'm just going to come back next week and see, you know, going to set some alerts or whatever, or, you know, obviously wait for Stonksy to maybe do something on the 1 hour or whatever it is. And just kind of just go and chill for a week and just, God, you know what, this week I'm going to go down to Cornwall, or this week I'm going to go up to Scotland, or this week I'm going to go to Spain and go to the hippie hut and do magic mushrooms with Save a Crypto's friend. Space Cat wants B&B. Sorry, Space Cat, we've been yapping away. I'll get to B&B now. Let's see.
So if you had the choice, right? If I said to you, right, I'm going to give you £1 million today, right?
Yeah.
Or you can have £100 a day for the rest of your life. Which one would you have?
Hang on. Just let me do some quick maths on that.
In fact, let's ask the chat actually. So
hang on. So that's £36,500. £36,500 a year. So after 30 years, you would obviously have accrued the thing. I think I would go. What was it? £1 million.
Yeah, £1 million.
£1 million, because I think for the 30 years it takes for you to get that. Imagine if you got the $1 million now and waited for, say, like a stock market dip, or, you know, maybe like the Bitcoin cycle to end and enter a bear market, and then you fire that in, and obviously just don't touch it, or you know, you put it in the S&P, or you put it, you know, maybe across a couple of blue chip stocks, and just obviously don't touch it. Then you would, you know, in even like 5 to 10 years time, probably end up with like 5 mil, maybe even 10 mil. Yeah. As long as you're obviously not, you know, you're taking low risk. Yeah. So I think I would probably do that. Yeah,
I think so too. But to be honest, the kind of £100 a day thing is, I'm trying to get like a passive income of £100 a day, and I'm not there yet. I mean, I'm trying to do it with the YouTube channel, but you know, I'm not there at all. But you know, I think, you know, if I got like 10 times the amount of subscribers, so please go to my channel and subscribe. But you know, if I had 80,000 subscribers rather than 8,000, I think, you know, that I could quite merrily guarantee earning about £100 a day, you know, for doing a video a day.
Yeah.
And I think that'd be like really nice. You know, I'd be happy then. I'd be like very happy. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Nick says possible short zones for Crow. Yeah, we just looked at it, haven't we? I mean, it's currently sweeping, you know, the December / November highs. You could view that as a potential risk reward short. If you obviously give yourself a bit of room, but it has swept them 2 highs, so you know that's obviously potential here. I mean, yeah, as we looked at, the next kind of zone up for me, if its strength carries on, is like towards 40 cents. Short Video Guru says you need like £3 million liquid and 5 million investments. I don't believe you need £8 million to retire right now. No way. It just depends on your lifestyle, doesn't it? But I know for sure I do not need £8 million to retire. I could retire now on £1 million and easily not work another day in my life. As long as you manage the money right. You know, that's the key, and it's managing the money right. If you go and blow 200 grand on a car and then go and buy a house for 500 grand, you're obviously doing it all wrong if that's the case. If you live a very lavish lifestyle, then yeah, you probably need around £8 million. But depending on how you manage your money, you wouldn't need any of that, providing that obviously, again, you know how to make money from money.
Yeah.
500k in the stock market should yield 10%. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is becoming a bit of a myth now, with because the stock market has been so high performing for the past 15 years, I do think at some point we'll enter quite a long bear market, maybe for a couple years, maybe 5 years, maybe even have a kind of lost decade thing again. Because everyone I know what you mean, Sean, because they are the returns, they are the historical returns and stuff. But I think, the way that tech has risen over the past 10 to 15 years, and especially with the way that stocks have performed since the massive liquidity injection since 2020, it's kind of really blurred the world in obviously investment returns for stocks. I do think we'll get a big wipeout, and then that returns. But I do think we're probably overdue a big wipeout soon. I don't know when. James would take 1 million. How much will £100 be worth in 10 years? Well, given how fast food is going up, probably about £1. Yeah. God bless you, VLX. A simple government bond would earn more than £100 a day. Providing that the current government don't bankrupt the country, I suppose. Space Cat says, I will not. I think I would spend 1 mil very quick. Phew. Is that right? Oh, you have a very, very lavish lifestyle then, don't you? You little devil.
I think he's a young lad, actually, and I think you think a little bit differently at that age, don't you?
Yeah. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll, or Absolutely. Sex, drugs, and sausage rolls. Maybe that's what's in his head. But yeah, B&B, obviously, yes, for B&B, keep getting distracted. There's not really much to say on B&B. I kind of find it a bit hard to kind of analyze, obviously, things that are in price discovery, because obviously there's just clear sky above. There's nothing to the left for us to look at. If you're looking at kind of obviously downside, we do obviously have some form of SR coming in here around the 820 mark. So obviously any dips, we want to hold 820. Otherwise, it could go for a deeper pullback. But yeah, I mean, as far as, looking upwards, again, there's literally just clear sky. So, where's the next target from here? Maybe 100, 1,000 is obviously the next big round number. If you want to maybe, pull what we can, you got the last cycle high to the cycle low, that again, there you go, that's 1,000. And the next one up is 1,500. So that's not giving us much, because that is literally just giving us the big round numbers that we could just pluck anyway. If you want to maybe take the most recent moves, so obviously this high, and then we had a big pullback to the low there. You've got, again, that comes in just below £1,000. So £1,000 is shouting out for us, obviously, for being the big next round historical number. But then also, that is 2 fib extensions now. That is pulling around £1,000 as well. Then the 2618 is then taking us to 1264 on this move here. So, yeah, I mean, B&B, obviously, very strong coin. I wouldn't bet against it. Not financial advice, but yeah, I mean, I think with the nature of B&B and obviously the entity behind it, I definitely wouldn't bet against it. But yeah, I mean, each to their own. What have we got next? I heard UK Gov is going cap in hand to IMF for bailout. I've no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they started off last year saying that there was a 20 billion black hole and suddenly it's 50. So it kind of, gives an inkling as to what's going on in the finances, doesn't it? James S., which bonds are you talking about?
He's talking about government bonds, isn't he?
Yeah. They're called gilts over here. Gilts, aren't they? I believe BNB is the best exchange token yet so far, but I could be wrong. Is it actually classed as an exchange token? I don't think it is it? It's not actually an exchange token, is it? It's
Probably is, to be honest.
Is it? I know it's tied to Binance, but is it not kind of officially not an exchange token? I don't think it is. I think obviously unofficially you would say it is, because it's obviously called Binance Coin and BNB. But is it not more so like just the token of BNB chain? Like, I don't know if because I've not been on Binance in years. I haven't been on Binance in years. Is there anything like actually on Binance where obviously exchanges have things for their token and stuff to, you know, maybe like reduce fees or whatever? Is there anything like actually like that on Binance? I don't know because I've not been on it in years, but I know what you mean. It is kind of unofficially, if not officially, in it because it's called Binance Coin.
Yeah, actually, tell you what, you know, in Block Pro's AMA last night, he did actually say, you know, when things get really frothy, do your research on exchange tokens, because they normally do incredibly well.
Yeah.
And what he was saying, he's saying, like, you know, hasn't BLOFIN got an exchange token? It hasn't, has it?
No, we were discussing this last week, wasn't we?
Yeah. And like Spud was saying, you know, maybe we can persuade him to do one and then we can shill it. I think that's a brilliant idea, actually.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, do an airdrop as well.
Yeah.
France is talking about being bailed out. Is that right, Math? Yeah, hey, Math, how are we doing? Great to see you. You just pop up there out of nowhere, don't you? No hi, no hello, no nothing. Math, it's been a long time, mate. How are you? Great to see you. As long as that's the Math that I think it is. Monty said, where do you think we are at in the market cycle? I think we are at the stage before euphoria, is my personal opinion. Let me pull it up.
Math is part of the Save the Crypto team now. Is he? Yeah. He's doing some coding and stuff for me, and we're doing a live stream this afternoon together. And brilliant bloke.
Yeah, I think we're kind of in this stage here. If not, there is obviously an argument to say that we're already topped out on Bitcoin. You know, you could actually form that argument now to say that potentially we've already topped out on Bitcoin. In terms of like the overall market, obviously ETH is yet to run, you know, to new highs and stuff. So I think we're potentially like somewhere in here. Like, I don't think we've had full euphoria yet, in my personal opinion. But I think we're probably quite close into, you know, obviously if Bitcoin has topped out, maybe it pushes back up and continues to range like in and around 120, maybe below, and ETH starts to get a real run to maybe 6, 7, 8k, whatever it may be. And then, you know, that could then be the euphoria. Or Bitcoin hasn't topped out and we maybe run to 130, 140. And then obviously that obviously rotates back into altcoins, and then there's the euphoria. We obviously don't know because we can't see the future. But in my personal opinion, I think there's, in one way or another, and again, obviously this isn't financial advice, but just in my opinion, is that whether it's on Bitcoin or obviously on the altcoin market, there's another leg up to come, is what I'm thinking. I struggle to think that this is it, given obviously how much companies and institutions and billionaires are piling into ETH now as well. So we'll see. What about you? What does everyone think? Let us know in the chat. Get your comments in. Where do you think we are? Whether that, you know, however you want to market, whether you want to say like a percentage, or obviously one of these stages off the psychological chart, or you just want to say more up or whatever. Let us know.
What do you mean, in the cycle sort of thing?
Yeah.
I reckon there's about 8 weeks left.
Yeah, 2 months into October, maybe early November.
Yeah.
Gold and silver Britannia coins are a pretty secure way to preserve wealth, no capital gain tax. All right, okay. Yeah. I am it was in the Telegraph. Yeah. I don't know. Pretty sure it's the same, Math. Yeah, I'm sure it is, mate. Great to see you. I think 4-year cycle is over. This is a new paradigm. I don't. I mean, there is obviously an argument for it because, you know, the ETFs and, you know, obviously the potential for countries to onboard him. But we were at this same exact junction last cycle of people calling for a super cycle and everything. and then we just witnessed utter collapse, didn't we? Maybe it doesn't run in terms of a 4-year cycle, but do I believe that we'll get a bear market, at some point, maybe in 26, maybe 27? Yes, I do. So whether you want to call it a 4-year cycle or what, but I don't just believe that we're suddenly just on the road to just non-stop parabola up to the upside. Mainly because, maybe not even for Bitcoin's sake, mainly because the stock market, maybe because I personally believe that there'll be a big dirty stock market crash over the next 2 years, but who knows? There seems to be a lot flowing into ETH. Yeah, a lot flowing into ETH. Billions and billions and billions. They're absolutely loving it at the moment. Hype. We were looking at Hype yesterday. Did it make it made an all-time high? Yeah, it did. All-time high on Hype. This thing is just a monster. Absolute monster. Now, comfortably, obviously a 5x from the bottom. I wish I'd bought this thing. Absolute beast. Speaking of another one of your favourite ones, mate, Borg is up 5% today.
Oh, is it? Oh, nice.
It is, yes. Good old Borg. Are you still enjoying your Borg?
Yeah, I was going to have a look at me. Have a look at my balance. So today, the suspected Nvidia numbers, is that good or bad?
Well, the expected ones, I don't know whether you would class them as good or bad. Obviously, if they missed them, then it will be bad. If they hit them, I don't know. I really don't know.
So what do you think is going to happen? Think it'd be good or bad?
I think it will be okay. Honestly, I really don't know.
I'm just wondering now, because it seems like the market...
I think Bitcoin has bottomed or is close to a bottom, if not bottomed from here. So maybe, come and take out that wick and stuff. But I personally, it is my personal opinion that this is kind of the bottom zone for Bitcoin. Now, what's interesting is Bitcoin started selling off before the stock market.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see if it bottoms before it. But really, you look at the stock market, and obviously the stock market has pushed up massively. So, yeah, I don't know. The way Nvidia is going, I don't think they've missed earnings, or maybe they missed it last time. I don't know, but I think they've missed did they miss it last time? No. So Nvidia hasn't missed an earnings since November 2022, which was obviously for the period of Q3. Last earnings, they beat revenue by 1.68%. Now, the estimate was 43.33. This one is 46. So they've added near another 10% on revenue from last time. But I'll be honest, I won't pretend to be some kind of, stock expert and what that means or what the feeling is on Wall Street or in TradFi and stuff. I'm not, I won't pretend to be an expert on that stuff. I have no idea if there's some overall feeling within TradFi or, maybe that's been on CNBC and stuff of what these earnings will be like for Nvidia. I don't know, is the honest answer.
Fair enough. No, I'm just thinking because it seems like the market's been pushed down all this week, and it's almost as if it's been artificially pushed down so that if there's good news today, then some people are going to make lots of money, aren't they? Yeah. Or will it get pushed down and then we do a double bottom on the BTC? I don't know. It's really a 50-50, isn't it? I think we could just consolidate. Yeah, we could push back down again, but yeah, I think if we drop out of this zone here, I think it's going to get pretty nasty, which is why I think there's there's a good chance that we do bottom out in and around 108, maybe, obviously above where we've currently bottomed out here at 108.5-ish. Because I think if we drop below here, I think it could get pretty nasty and see us go sub 100k. Yeah. I actually, in Block Pro's AMA last night, I only caught the end of it, unfortunately. So I asked him if he could do a quick recap of it in the Discord. And he posted the chart, and that had levels going from 108 down to 85. So
yeah.
and he said, "Don't be surprised when we get there." So
Yeah.
don't be surprised if we go to 85k.
Which could still be viewed as high time frame bullish potentially.
Oh yeah.
We're just revisiting previous accumulation points. PK says, "What's your thoughts on Link? Think it could get above 100?" Honestly, I have no idea. I don't kind of throw myself into price predictions because mainly I work on the chart and obviously what Stonksy is telling us as well. I have no idea. I don't really work on price predictions at all because
it is, however, very
kind of just
what?
Sorry. No, go on. I was just going to say because they kind of just like you kind of just pluck them, don't you? Like where does $100 come from? Do you know what I mean? It's just because it's a big round number. Like I think it's just kind of working off things like that. Really, what we want to focus on is what the chart is telling us, and obviously the chart gives us multiple levels. Loads of areas to look at. I mean, really, you've got to consider even if Link gets back to its previous all-time high of $53 off the bottom, that is a 10x. That is a huge achievement in my opinion. People obviously may not agree because they want more, but a 10x from the bottom I think is a huge achievement considering obviously it dropped like 95% or whatever. Now it could obviously go higher than that, of course it could, depending on how ETH goes. Now I think for Link to get above to its all-time high and then above, obviously we're going to have ETH start breaking out and obviously hit some good numbers in price discovery. So like 6, 7, potentially 8k, because it's an ETH beta and it will be dragged up like it has been alongside ETH. And then obviously, you might have some ETH money flowing into ETH betas and then, obviously other altcoins. But I mean, just kind of work it level to level. And then if it does enter price discovery, then, we can start looking at, where maybe we could be looking at higher. But it's got a lot of work to do. It's still got over 100% to do before it even gets back to its previous all-time high. But what I will say is anything's possible. If you're kind of if you're really bullish on Link, which it's been a superb mover in the market, hasn't it? And it is, what you can say is, unlike a lot of things in crypto, it does actually do something, and it does actually have a lot of merit in it. But what I will obviously say is anything is possible. How probable things are is a different thing in it in terms of probability. But possibility, anything is possible. But what the likelihood is, if it got up there, it probably wouldn't go to 100. It would probably go to 90 odd, maybe 91, 92, and then them $100 people waiting for $100 will get front run on sells by front running it, and then it would, in my opinion, crash out like a bit before that. But yeah, I suppose it just depends on your conviction in it, and if you think it can go to 100, then I really hope it does go there for you. Now let's close the poll before we get market open. So we're at 23 votes, 61% think up today. I think we had up again. I think we had up yesterday as well. But we've got 24 viewers and 15 likes. So please do get your likes in. If you haven't, drop a like. If you're new around here, do subscribe as well. And of course, keep your comments coming in because it's great to hear from you guys. Thank you to everyone that has commented so far. What will ETH do when Bitcoin drops to 105k? Oh, Desperados, I have no idea. Maybe test maybe test 4k again.
Sorry.
No, go on, mate. What was you going to say?
No. It's right. I turned my other computer on and the audio came on. So
yeah, maybe test 4k again. Maybe test 4.2. Obviously, it's pushed up quite nice, and a 10% drop on here from here on ETH would take it to around 4,140-ish, wouldn't it? 4,150. So Bitcoin dropping to 105k would be around what would it be for me? Around a 4% drop. So yeah, maybe it goes down there, but we are open. So There we go.
So the usual dump.
There we go. Keep your comments coming though, guys. It's great to hear from you all.
That's rubbish. What's it doing that for?
It's dump. It did this yesterday.
Yeah, it does it every day, doesn't it? Maybe you should just trade it every day, and I think it does it more often than not, doesn't it?
Well, dumping on open
Yeah.
seems to, yeah.
Why has it gone down there? Oh, he's having a nice dump as well.
Is it having a dumpy dump?
Yeah. Nice be Solana. Okay. Well,
How's my Solana looking?
I'm gonna leave me trade. It'll probably bounce back. What I was going to say about Link was it's very tradable at the moment. Actually, if you just if you think it's going to go to 100k, just keep longing it from $23. Go up 3% and then sort of close it and wait for the next $23, and then at one time it'll just shoot up and go to 100. Maybe not, but
The thing is, yeah, I mean, it could, it could weld it. It could weld it. We just don't know, do we? But I mean, we'd have to have. The thing is, when you're looking for kind of these price targets, you're looking for a high cap like Link to do a 4x from here. What you really are wanting is obviously the market to enter another leg up and really like get euphoria in. So for Link to achieve a 4x from here, we either want Bitcoin to go up, to another leg higher, to maybe 130, 140k, maybe even 150. You want Ethereum to go towards 10k. You're looking at them other aspects. Obviously, Link isn't going to go to $100 from this point on its own. It's just not. Obviously, it's just you're just not going to happen. We know that. But if Bitcoin and ETH start moving, then obviously they're the things that will bring the rest of the market up with them. You need obviously their market leaders, particularly ETH, obviously, to really get dragged up. If ETH does 100% from here, it's entirely possible that its betas could later do, obviously 200%, 300%, maybe 400%, maybe more. So it's that's kind of what you'd be looking at, isn't it, for something like that to happen? But yeah, we just don't know. I mean, I suppose, how crazy can things get? Your thing is interesting. 8 weeks. So in 8 weeks' time,
yeah,
are you planning on just selling everything and then having done with it, or what?
Maybe.
Because I made this mistake last year. So for about, I would say for a solid about a year to 8 months, I was in the mindset that come November time, December time, I would sell everything and just be done with it, regardless of what was going on in the market. Now, I didn't end up doing that last year.
Right.
I didn't take anywhere near as much profits, and then I paid for it. So I didn't listen to myself and obviously what I'd planned.
Right.
So what are you kind of, is your thinking behind that? Are you kind of just thinking, right, I've got this kind of idea in mind, I'm going to stick to it no matter what, or are you just kind of waiting to see where the market's at?
I'm going to certainly get rid of any altcoins I've got that I don't see like a proper function for,
Yeah.
Which is probably going to include eGold, because I mean, that thing amazes me. They keep coming out with like new technological things, but the price doesn't really move, So
Yeah.
that might be one that I might just offload and sell that. I mean, things like CRO, unless it goes bonkers, I'll hang on to that because I use it for the card. I think Swissborg I'll probably hang on to because I think it's good long term. But anything else I've got like that, I'll probably sell and wait for a dump. Wait for the bear market, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'll probably hold on to Bitcoin. I think possibly short it on the way down. I don't know, but it depends how obvious it is at the time. If it's fairly obvious the market's like super like euphoric and we're at 160k and it's about to roll over, then it would be great to short it all the way down to like 50k again, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
That'd set you up for life, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm not going to be precious about it, and I'm not. I've definitely changed over the years, because 2 or 3 years ago I was, a total Bitcoin maxi, and I thought it was the solution to everything. But now it's got so expensive, I think it's probably, it's probably time to think about selling some and then buying it back later at a smaller price. That might be a mistake, but I don't know. At the end of the day, though, I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to be a bag holder forever, So certainly not with altcoins.
Yeah, that's a good, obviously, viewpoint to have. Space Cat says, I'm still confused about Litecoin. What is the function? It's like Bitcoin, but faster. It's just a blockchain, yeah. It's just a blockchain. It was the second coin ever created. It was created after Bitcoin, a few years after. And it's just a proof of work blockchain like Bitcoin. Yeah.
It's actually no different, is it? Like,
it's just a proof of work blockchain.
I think it's just like a clone of Bitcoin, but not as popular. Therefore, I don't know. I don't see any point in it.
Yeah, it's one of the obviously the second oldest one. So it'll probably always be around, I imagine. It'll always be around and relevant. But as for usage and stuff, I don't know. I really don't know how much it's used and all stuff like that. I do think it'll, I find it hard to imagine where it doesn't get a proper kind of blow off pump Litecoin, which could maybe signal, obviously the end of the cycle if that thing just starts going nutty back towards like $200-$400 potentially. Yeah. That's definitely something where I would look at it and go, right, okay, that's enough now. But yeah, personally, I've never used it. Probably wouldn't ever. But yeah, can be good to trade. OM's moving today, up 4%. Should we see what's going on the stock market?
Yeah.
We've got Nvidia down 0.5%. That's interesting because it obviously opened higher up, but we are down on open. So are maybe people de-risking? Is there a bit of de-risking / selling going into earnings? A bit of nervousness?
Could be.
Could be. Got Apple around level. Meta's down a wee bit. Not much going on Microsoft. Tesla's up just over 0.5%. That's had a good push up of late. Back up from 320 just last Wednesday. So that's had a good 10% rally in the past week. I look at Tesla and I just think like that stock is just like perfect for just buying and selling in it.
It is, yeah.
Literally just buying it, selling it, buying it, selling it. Waiting for pullbacks, waiting for dips.
Yeah, I mean, it was more fun when Trump and Musk were sort of arguing a bit more.
Yeah.
They could do with falling out a bit more.
I don't even think I haven't really kept up to date with that. Are they back to being friends now, or
I don't know. I think what wasn't Musk trying to start his own party or something?
I don't know. He's now back to being trying to get involved in UK politics again now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He was bashing Nigel Farage and Reform on X yesterday.
Oh, okay.
In support of Rupert Lowe and Restore Britain, and I think mainly he's a big supporter of Advance UK, whatever party that is. I don't know who the leader behind that is.
Sounds dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know. But really, I mean, you look at it. I suppose it depends on what side really you are. But I think there's really troubling things going on. But yeah, I suppose you have to be really careful what you say now online, don't you? Like, yeah, that's why I kind of just try and keep politics out of the stream, because you have to be really careful what you say. But yeah,
you started it. I know it was me, wasn't it?
It's just, well, to be fair, we didn't really start anything. Just commenting on what Musk was going on about on X yesterday.
Yeah.
Let's see what ETH is doing. Just hanging around 4,600. If we go and have a look at ETH on the hourly, obviously came into back into quite a key level. For those of you that don't know, actually pretty interesting. ETH actually does have a CME gap open up towards 4,860. A small one. It's about $50 that's open, but it is open up there. Obviously, Bitcoin has its big gap open up towards 117,300 on the CME exchange, that is. So that will probably be around 117k, maybe a bit less on actual exchanges.
What do you reckon about that?
Well, naturally, they end up closing eventually, don't they? Most of them. I know we've got ones open from much, much lower down, but I don't think we've really had one that stayed open forever since like 20k or something, have we? I don't think. Even like, the one down at 70k, it took a long while for that to close, didn't it? But we eventually got back down there in April. So I think it probably, in my opinion, it will close. It's just when.
Tonight.
I imagine. Just full blown aggressive rallying. We are going up though. We are going up.
I know. That's. Oh, hang on. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Solana actually. Oh yeah, Solana's nice. 205. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
How's me trade? Hang on. Oh, bloody hell. Okay. So I'm 1.3 Solana in profit. That's good.
Oh, yes.
Our Bitcoin's gone nicely up. Okay. Well, the poll was right.
Is it rallying pretty nice?
It is. Why has it done that?
Maybe it's, well, to be fair, it is kind of just overdue, like some form of decent bounce in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, we are kind of just in and around overdue. It like it has been selling off for, like we said, just over 2 weeks, just in and around 2 weeks.
Nice.
So yeah, it's kind of, I suppose you could say it's kind of overdue it. Right, what have we got? Scotty says, would you both stay in the UK if you hit retirement money, or would you consider leaving the UK? I would, just because I actually really like where I live. I really like where I live, and I do just generally like being close to friends and family. But I would definitely be open to. I don't know whether I would buy a place abroad, because it's like you're taking a big hit in one go, in it, as opposed to just like paying each time you go.
Yeah.
But I would definitely take regular trips abroad. Like, for me personally, I don't know if I'd ever be interested in buying a place abroad. Obviously, if say you had money to go and buy a villa somewhere or what, because you then obviously have the pain of like obviously buying that in a foreign country, the pain of obviously like looking after it, obviously, making sure like it's not being burgled and stuff as well when you're not there, and just obviously like any other expenses of owning a property abroad,
Yeah,
as opposed to just getting one on Airbnb and just not having any of the headache.
Yeah, I mean, I've done that twice. I mean, I bought one property in the UK and I bought two in France, and it was a nice thing to have. I had a nice little chalet in the Alps, but it's a pain in the arse when something goes wrong. I had a problem with a broken water main, and it was so much aggro to fix it. It cost me over €4,000.
Really?
In digger hire. I had to dig up my garden, dig up the driveway. I had like endless wrestles with the water people. It was like absolute pain in the arse. It was.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, I mean, I lived there for like 8. Well, I lived in the house in the chalet for 8 years, and then when I sold it, it was worth like 20 grand more than I paid for it. So I have no interest at all in owning a property abroad ever again. That said, I do really like being warm. So I think what I would do, I mean, everyone's different, but I mean, my kids, my youngest daughter is now 16. So, another couple of years, she'll be off to university or something. So at that point, what I'd probably do is I'd probably have like a little tiny home in the UK. And I'd like you say, I'd go abroad a lot. But I think what I'd probably do is I'd go out I'd live in the French Alps for like the summer, and then in the winter I'd go and live in like Lanzarote or somewhere,
Oh,
and then I'd have me like bolt hole, like flat or little home, like a little bungalow. Little bungalow would be ideal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
In the UK somewhere, so somewhere out in the sticks, and I think that would be ideal for me. But I'm different, because I'm a widower now, so I haven't got another half to think about, so also most of my family's dead now, so yeah, everyone's different. But yeah, I like the idea of being abroad, but I wouldn't buy a property abroad. And Bitcoin is going up really nicely.
Yeah, so is ETH. Just looking at ETH, obviously I had a massive 1 minute candle there. Hello, Jeff. How we doing, mate? Great to see you. How is things? Yeah, Bitcoin is now reapproaching, obviously, that 112k region, where it could obviously give us a good marker for if we're going to push higher or if we're going to stay below. Yeah, the S&P, the S&P isn't really doing much, which is a good sign, because obviously Bitcoin has been very weak against the stock market of late. So it's a good sign that Bitcoin is going up on its own and just kind of gaining its own strength. That is definitely good to see and very, very much welcomed. Solana is surging. It's now up to 206, mate. How's your trade doing?
My trade is it's only on 3x leverage, so it's only 5% in profit, 1.3 Solana.
That's good though.
Not
I mean,
bad.
for what time did you open it today?
About half an hour before the stream.
Yeah. So for being, for being open, what, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours? Not bad so far.
Yeah, also it's about $300, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's all right.
You can't complain with that at all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, nice movement. Obviously, Bitcoin is encountering some resistance here, as we would imagine. And ETH is, obviously came down a fair bit from that 1 minute candle, but kind of leveling off here. Yeah, I mean, ETH is again strong, outperforming Bitcoin today. So ETH is doing really, really well. Let's see what's happening over there. Yeah, so Nvidia is selling off quite massively now. As you can see there, since we opened, it's just been non-stop selling, now down below 180. So it seems, down 1.3% as well on the day. So it seems like, there's some obviously de-risking going into earnings today. Something to be wary of. Obviously, for anyone that's joined late, we do have Nvidia earnings after market close today, which will come in at 9 o'clock or just after UK time. So obviously just be wary of that, because it is obviously the biggest share of the S&P, the biggest, stock of the S&P. So depending on which way it goes, obviously could shake things up a bit later tonight. Jeff says, all is well. I'm playing the CME gap long where, it's 100, around, we go to around 117k, maybe just below on crypto exchanges to close the gap, Jeff. But I mean, things are, in the first 20 minutes, things are looking quite good for Bitcoin. I think.
Yeah.
Would you say, mate?
Well, definitely, yeah. Very nice, actually. Yeah, I'm quite pleased actually because I had a short on this morning and I closed it and I made a little loss actually. I made about a 4% loss, which was like a few $100s. So
yeah.
But I'm bloody pleased I did because that wouldn't have been good, would it?
No, absolutely not.
So that was a good decision, and I've made back what I lost on the Solana long, so that's all right. Yeah, so probably not net up today so far, but not too bad. Not too bad. I had a good weekend last weekend. It was brilliant.
Yeah, very good. I like it. I like it a lot.
You see, Math saying there, I would miss the UK weather and the changeable seasons. I actually wouldn't.
Yeah, I think I do like kind of the thing is I like when it comes to like October, I like around Halloween time, obviously when autumn comes in, and then I love the build up to Christmas, kind of it being a bit colder, darker and stuff like that. But then the thing that I really don't like is after Christmas, pretty much straight away, once that's done and obviously New Year's out the way, I just want it to be like, spring and summer then straight away. Where we have them kind of like 3 months, don't we? Of January, February, March, before we get any like proper change in it being warmer. So that's the only thing that annoys me. I mean, don't get me wrong. Would I live in 30 degrees constantly if I could? Yes, I would. But obviously we're just not going to get that. But if I could change anything, it would be kind of like, I do like it being, a bit colder around Christmas and, the autumn feeling and obviously doing things with darker nights and stuff. But if I could change anything, it would be like as soon as New Year's done, it just starts to heat up straight away then. That's what I would love.
Yeah. Actually, tell you where's nice is kind of sort of south of France, down near like Perpignan, that kind of area. Because they do have a winter, but it's about 6 weeks. That's it. And that'd do me. 6 weeks of cold weather, then you're back into spring in like February.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm waiting to long sol until a daily close over 206, maybe a retest. I think if we close above, 206, maybe it was 207, 208 we were looking at before. I think it looks good. I don't know about to 250. I kind of got like 220 and then kind of up to like 230 as my 2 levels upwards. I'm kind of looking like 220, 230 and then up to 260 is what I'm looking at, Jeff. But I do think you're right. Yeah, anything kind of daily close over around like 207, maybe 208 would obviously be very, very nice for sure. Hazy skies. I haven't seen proper blue sky in my area for months. They're always spraying. What area are you, Scotty? Please do make sure, if you haven't yet, do drop a big like on the stream. We do appreciate it. It does help us out. Of course, if you're new here, subscribe.
Yeah, this is all looking nice, isn't it? It's good.
It is. It's looking jolly.
Brilliant. Oh yeah, CRO's still up as well. Oh god, CRO's going brilliant.
Is it?
Yeah, it's at 24 cents now.
Hang on, I've just got to run to the door. There's someone at the door of a package. Won't be a sec.
Okay. Someone at the door with a package. Yeah. So I'm just looking at CRO here. CRO's Yeah, so obviously I made a bit of a mistake yesterday because I sold some CRO into Bitcoin, but there again, Bitcoin's going up, so is the Bitcoin price going up compared to is CRO going up compared to Bitcoin? That's the question. And it is, but not quite so much. Yeah, so yeah, maybe my mistake wasn't too bad. Yeah, that's all right. Cool. So what else we got? Have a quick look at the. So math hazy sky. Do you mean you like hazy skies, or yeah? I don't know. I think the 20-day EMA is close for a retest. Okay, I'll. Okay. Space Cat. Is it logical to buy BTC now? Is it logical? Logical. Possibly. I mean, it will probably go up, won't it? It'll probably go up to like, I don't know. I reckon about 150, 160. So you could buy some Bitcoin. Yeah. Oh, hello.
Hello.
What was it?
I don't know. It wasn't one of my packages. Must have been something that she's ordered. Yeah. So, nothing exciting for me.
Okay. Oh, this is.
What's going on? Let's see. Are we coming back down a bit?
I don't know. I'm looking at CRO actually.
Oh, right. Yeah, we have come back down a bit again. Yeah, struggling. That 112k barrier, it's going to be quite critical, and it might be a bit hard to break. But if we can break it with volume and start to head towards 113, then that could obviously be one potential sign that the bottom is in. Sorry, I put the wrong address. Well, no, it's my package now, so you're not getting it back. Finders keepers. Yes, Kev. Not seen you in a good few days. How we doing, mate? Great to see you. Great to see everyone else. Thank you very much for joining the stream. Absolute legends.
I'll tell you what I might do with my Solana trade is I might stop being such a pussy and put my leverage up a little bit and go up to like, I don't know, 5x or something.
Oh, you pussy.
And use a bit more margin. And I always mess it up when I do that. I always do it wrong.
Yeah. Well, suppose Bitcoin is coming back down, so you might get a bit of a better entry.
Yeah.
I missed the big move from the last Wednesday. What happened last Wednesday? I can't remember what happened last Wednesday. I know obviously on the Friday we had that massive move. What happened on Wednesday?
I can't remember anything happening.
No, we moved up a little bit on. To be fair, we did move up a bit on the Wednesday, but Friday was the big one. Friday was the good one. Wednesday was just a little bounce, really. But yeah, that is the end of the stream. So thank you to everyone that joined. Do appreciate you. Of course, if you haven't yet, drop a big like, drop a subscribe. If you're not, obviously, big thank you to you, mate. Thanks for coming on again. Everyone loves it, and it's great to have you on.
Oh,
and of course, that is now meaning that we are halfway through the week, or more than halfway through the week, I suppose. So it's a good marker, and I'll miss you daily, mate. Obviously, for those of you, actually, I haven't told anyone yet, but for those of you that don't know, I'm off next week, so Save is kindly covering me on stream again, like he did a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're gonna look forward to having him on next week. It'll only be Monday to Friday that I'll be off, so he's kindly gonna do the 5 streams for me. So yeah, obviously you'll be seeing a lot more of him for next week, and yeah, hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.